us near the end of the road. Yes, you, sir. And if you could just wait for the mic.
I was just wondering, after all the films and the reissues and everything, if this feels like a sort of a full stop to the Joy Division story, because I've heard it, you know, it almost feels like a story, that's one of my stories because I grew up with it, but for you guys, does it feel like that's something like
it felt like a full stop when we did still, like it still was supposed to be the full stop, but it carries on. Joy Division carries on whether you do anything or not, and it's good that we sat down and talked about it and got, you know, reminisced on things, because it's good to do that when you get old. You know, you start rumbling on about the good old days. No, I don't think it's a full stop, because the legacy continues.
Okay, next question. Okay, we have two down in the front row, so I guess we'll take you this one first and then this one after that.
Hi there. I'm part of the TARDIS. I was at the 79 gig with the Buzzcocks at the Rainbow.
Oh, at the Rainbow. Did you get egged?
No, but it was true. There was hardly anyone there, because Rainbow's a big place and there was loads of seats that were spare, and you know, I thought to myself, oh, this is so great. It's my first gig. I was 16. And one of my question for you really is, the Joy Division songs are very structured. They're very, from a drum, I drum for ATV and television personalities at the moment.
Oh, right.
And as a drummer, I was just thinking, in the early days, were you doing any sort of technical work? Because
I was out of my mind
really
on drugs. I don't remember any of it.
Because it's very straight. It's very straight,
yeah,
and there's
right.
no Pro Tools around. So
no.
I just wondered, did you have a problem with the takes at all, or did you just roll through?
No, just, you know, give me a tablet and I'll just no technique involved. Sorry. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you know, practice. You can become as good as me. Want to advocate chemicals in every circumstance, but, you know, sometimes. Cool.
You were saying about the legacy continues. There was that great long iTunes list of Love Will Tear Us Apart, and you know, there's been hundreds of Joy Division awarded cover versions. Has there been any particular Joy Division cover versions either that you might like, or any that have really turned your stomach?
No, I tend to like everything really, which can be a problem. At the time, I didn't really get why Paul Young was doing Love Will Tear Us Apart, and quite a lot of people didn't. I mean, in a way, it was good that he did, but I think doing a cover version is like, you should make it different. You should take the song and do something different with it. If you're going to make it sound like Joy Division, don't bother.
Okay.
We get money.
You're an inspiration.
That's right.
I think we have one gentleman right on the end there in the dark shirt. Thank you.
Hello, hi. Joy Division Central, the obsessive Joy Division fans. Steve probably won't even know about this, but before Control, before Joy Division, in Blackburn a couple of years ago, there was a load of Brian Nicholson on part with Malcolm Whitehead had a whole 2-hour set done on PowerPoint of Joy Division footage. That included the Granada, She's Lost Control, lots of footage of Steve and the band practicing, some of it snippets that we saw. I'm just wondering how much of that have you had? Brian Nicholson was on the, Malcolm Whitehead was on the documentary, but the archivist was Brian Nicholson. I'm just wondering how much will that appear on the DVD of the documentary? Having seen it, the third part, I would have thought just let them make it a separate DVD, but I'm just wondering how much of that's going to appear on the DVD.
Depends how well this Q&A goes down. You know, we could stretch a lot out of this. We'll use this.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
But yeah, I mean, Malcolm's film has never really got finished. It went on for years and years and years, and carries on. So I'm quite glad that someone's actually seen the finished version and we can put it
Tony
out.
Wilson was there with the dog.
Was Tony there with his
He
dog?
was there with the dog, and the guy who runs Joy Division website, Mark.
They were there.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, we did negotiate with Brian Nicholson because Brian was, working with Malcolm, and we had prolonged negotiations with Brian and with Malcolm to get the footage that we've got, and it's in there. I'd have liked to use more of the Plan K footage, but we were persuaded that the sound was too brutal for cinema consumption. So, but I'm pretty pleased with the way that it was. Whether there could have been more footage, I seem to think that we got as much out of Malcolm at that particular point as we could, and he was in the film. He was fine with us, but I know that there are ongoing issues about all that, which will, I suspect, be eventually resolved in time. Okay, another question. I think we'll stay right at the back. There's a gentleman behind you.
Steve, you said a little bit about the writing process. Didn't Ian ever kind of say to you in the rehearsal studio, this one's about da 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 da? No, you just jam it.
You don't talk about your. It's safe. You don't talk about your emotions. We just. This is good. This is good. It's rocky. It wasn't. This song's about. We just said, what? Hey, you're reading too many weighty books. Tell us what it's about. We've not finished it yet.
You didn't direct it in any way.
Well, he did. In the sort of thing. It's like you play that one. You play that riff twice, and then you play that riff twice, and then you just make the rest of it up as you're going along.
Oh, thanks.
It's technical.
I mean, sorry, I just add one thing. Were the lyrics already fully formed and the rest of the songs kind of shaped around them? Was that how it worked?
They weren't fully formed, but unlike every lyricist I've ever known, Ian would actually turn up with lyrics. You'd think that'd go with the territory most of the time, but it doesn't. And he'd turn up and he'd have a book of lyrics, and we'd start playing, and he'd just find some suitable words and mumble them. They weren't the finished words, but he had something to sing. They were. Occasionally, he'd just keep one line, and the next time he came back, it'd be more like a verse, more like a chorus, and then the next time he did it. And when I say it was all like that, there was a bit of process of evolution in the lyrics, but he had something.
Okay, next question. I think the lady with the hand up just right in the middle.